All right, family, it's your brother Assad.
And I'm Adrian.
And we are back again with another quick video. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and hit that notifications bell so that you'll be notified when we drop new material or content on this channel. Secondly, we have to give a special shout out and a particular and a peculiar type of love to our South African family for all the love you guys have shown this channel. I promised I would never do a video without giving that special love to my South African family for opening the doors of their country, opening the doors of their hearts to allow us in to have these conversations and then allow us in to relocate. Third, March Madness has begun. Doc and his family already there. If you are watching, you know what's Drake album called? If you're reading this, it's already too late. If you are watching this, it's already too late. March Madness has begun. And listen, y'all.
He should be on the ground.
He's on the ground. He texted me. He's on the ground. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he's there. We are on our way. If you're watching this, it's Friday morning in South Africa. Well, if you're watching this when it first comes out, it's Friday morning in South Africa. It is Thursday night here in New Orleans. But the next time you see us will probably Am I retarded? Have I lost? Man, today in the meeting, I said, I even a second ago, you remember you asking me, did I do that on purpose?
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope I'm not
Your
having.
mind's moving faster than your mouth. The thoughts are going
Man, you know but you know, on both sides of my family, they had early onset stages of dementia.
If you're probably what?
Oh, the next time you see us, we will probably be in we may try to shoot one more in the airport in Jersey because on our way.
With this weather, we might be spending a lot of time in that airport.
Yeah, so there's some.
Not,
so according to the weatherman, there's what they call a cyclone or this bomb. There's a bunch of weather, a bomb cyclone that is moving towards across the northeast of the United States, and it's happening to hit right when
on
we are
the day
that we're supposed to leave. But fortunately, they said by afternoon it should have moved out. Our flight doesn't leave until like late at night on Saturday. So, inshallah, for those who are not familiar with the Arabic phraseology, that means God willing. Inshallah, that won't even be a problem. It will have moved out before our flight has taken off. But let's talk about a few things. So, first of all, I kind of hinted, and I made a little short video, and I pulled it off. I was like, man, I really know, bam, 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 bam. I didn't get to make the formal announcement. Announcement. So, I should have on a suit and tie for this. So your brother, I guess I'm going to have to very rarely do I refer to myself as Dr. Assad. So Dr. Assad received his official invitation from the University of Wits, the African Center for the Study of the United States. Yes. So I will be doing some academic research while we are in South Africa. And that, that is exactly what I needed to, hey, we're there. There's no barriers at this point. We're there. So the barrier right now.
Play the whole 90-day. Let me go.
Yeah.
No.
We about to get that real thing. That real love. The only barrier that we have right now to our move to South Africa is this behind us. What is that? Selling this house. Good God. Good God Almighty. Man, I mean, different real estate agents have come over and they've all given us, besides one, have given us the price. But it is literally what we have to do in order to get this house on the market. I just don't know.
But you know what? It's really not that much. It's just that we work a lot.
Yeah.
We got a lot going on. So.
No, it's a lot. We got to clean out a whole lot. What is she talking about? It's
not that much.
We got to clean out a whole bunch of stuff. Right now, y'all would be like, I cannot believe that is Brother Asai's closet. I can't believe he presents so well. If you see my closet right now, man, I got polos on the floor stacked this high. And I'm not exaggerating. I have polos on the floor stacked at least 3 feet high because I was looking for something and I couldn't find it. And I was just throwing stuff everywhere. Blah, blah, blah. Where's this? I can't find it. Blah. And now I got all of these polos on the floor, right? So, and some of them I can't even fit anymore. So they need to go to the Goodwill, right? We have just boxes of stuff. I'm looking at the books. I'm looking at the clothes.
But that doesn't all have to be handled before you put it up for sale.
Right,
like
right.
The packing up and the moving out of everything.
Yeah, but
that's when you have a contract in hand. It's like, okay, by this date I need to be out.
True,
that's
but
real work.
We have to get some of these so for the staging, for the house to look well. And you know, South Africa, actually, they have those interior design. I wish we could get our brothers and sisters from South Africa to fly to New Orleans right quick and hook up that interior design game, because every Airbnb we see is fire. But we have to get some of the furniture out of here to, as they say, declutter, open up the space so that people can come in and imagine it. Oh, okay, this could be that. Yeah, as their own. Then we have to paint because we have unique colors. You know, we black. You know, they got some people, they dyed black, they light black. We got like Caribbean colors in the house, like strong oranges. You know what I'm saying? And what would you call that?
That sounds so terrible.
Yeah, it's not orange.
Orange.
It's like, but it's beautiful. It is. It gives you, when you walk in, it gives you a warm,
It's like warm, colors, browns, tans.
Yeah, earth tones. Yeah, earth tones. Real earth tones, and we got African.
Lighten it up and paint it.
Yeah, right. Because they say when you lighten it up, it makes it look larger or whatever have you. So we got a lot of work to do. But anyway, so yes, University of Wits Waters Rand. I think I got it this time. Wits Waters Rand.
It's gonna take a little practice.
It's gonna take some practice. But no, I'm super excited about that. Listen. I am so excited about that because I look at the university as an opportunity to, again, engage people, build a network. Y'all always in the comments, Brother Asai, you should be teaching. Well, now y'all done wish that on some people, and they about to get, listen.
They about to put him in a classroom.
I've been in a classroom before, right? In many ways in my current capacity at one of my jobs, I am in the classroom, except for my people happen to be criminals. I had to be straight up gangsters. But I have been in the classroom before, and let me tell you, I'm funny, I'm likable, I'm nice. But my mentor used to give out F pluses. I've been waiting my whole life to do this.
You were waiting to show that A in the detail.
A in the detail. Y'all done messed up, man. I can't wait to get these people back for what my mentor did to me. Hurt people.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun. I think I'm going to enjoy this, and I cannot express my gratitude enough to Dr. Hasina. I won't say her last name because she may not want her business out there. But she has been a great help, and she looked out just by just like saying, "Hey, there's this center here," and I was like, "Oh wow,
she really did."
Yeah, and she didn't have to. No. And you see, that's the thing about it. That's when we talk about with the great philosophical musician Mary J. Blige when she said, "Real love, not just cyberspace love." It's easy to say. And we appreciate those too. Hey, Doc, we love y'all. Hey, Brother Sai, we love you. Hey, Sister Adrian, we appreciate that. That's real love too. But when we talk about real love, like in real life, yeah, that's beautiful. So we are on our way. March Madness is getting ready to begin. Also, what we have noticed is Have you noticed? Maybe you haven't, but I have. Because I hang on to YouTube a little bit. That I am pleased to see. When we first started doing the YouTube, it was the real South Africa.
Yeah.
It was the real South Africa. That was kind of the only channel of Black Americans kind of dedicated to South Africa in particular. Right. Now we had, Blacks.
And we know because we were looking, because we wanted that ongoing inspiration.
We would
get connected. Right.
Listen, we would watch them to get inspired.
Yeah.
And I am arrogant, overconfident. And I'd be like, if they could do it, I know I could do it. No disrespect to them, but that's how I felt. I would watch them. I'm like, if they can move, I know I can move. And it's truly no disrespect to them, but so we would watch them, and they would be our inspiration. Now, they had people in Ghana. Yeah, they had people in what's the Tigress? What's his name? Tigress and yeah,
she's all over though.
Yeah, but I thought she was in Tanzania for a while.
Short stint.
Okay, maybe. Okay, yeah. Kenya. Okay. Then they had different people, right? Yeah. But now, after the real South, we would see new people pop up. Journey to Zede, and shout out to that sister, man. Where is that sister, man? We got to reach out to her. Hopefully, she's still there. Yeah. And then, but now we got changing the narrative. I just watched them tonight. And then there is Julian. He's there. Shout out to Julian. Jew travels. Ashley in Africa. She's kind of between SA and
Asha Means Life.
How could I not start with her first? Asha Means Life. And I mean, she is the biggest inspiration, right? Because she literally, moved by herself.
Yeah.
Like, I think that requires like a full stop, pause, biggity bounce. She moved by herself.
Yeah.
Right? And she is establishing her own network, her own, people, her own daily life. That's just, that is amazing and admirable. Words just not coming to me right now. They're just coming out wrong. I'm gonna have to practice. So yeah,
listing all these folks.
Who else do we? I mean, I often don't like to go down lists because somebody's gonna say, "Well, he didn't say me." Well, I apologize, but there's so many that are popping up right now, and what it shows is what I predicted, that this is just the trickle before the full-on flood.
Yeah.
That there will be a flood of African American interest, not only because if we just look at South Africa, we could probably name about 10 YouTubers. But if you expand it across the continent, I mean, you got people who are literally tons of people. You have a whole network, like a YouTube network dedicated to the diaspora in Ghana, right? You got Dynas, you have Go Black to Africa. Wody kind of is all over, but he has native, he has like diasporan, direct diasporan, as well as African Americans on his channel. But there's so this is the trickle before the flood. And I mean, not to get all Nostradamus predicting things, but Nostradamus.
Cleo.
Miss Cleo knows that she can see you. I don't know if my South African family gonna get that. Man, Miss Cleo was. Yeah, I don't think they got the Cleo commercials back.
Call me now.
Yeah. Miss Cleo was a woman from Cleveland, Ohio with a Jamaican accent. Fake play. We didn't know no better, man. People was calling in. Miss Cleo, what's my magic numbers? The magic numbers. The magic numbers is $20 you about to pay. But what we're seeing right now, I don't often get political on this.
All you do is get political.
But no, not.
I don't talk about religion.
No, I don't talk about the international affairs what's going on in Ukraine, Russia. I have my opinion, but what we see right now, if you are really paying attention, all right, if you compare the reaction of the United States to Saddam's invasion of Kuwait.
I'm just waiting to see how you're going to tie this to some YouTube.
Okay, watch me.
I'm waiting.
Follow me now if you want to get on.
I'm trying to follow.
All right, if you look, as I said, I'm not trying to get all Nostradamus, right? But if you look at the United States reaction to Saddam's invasion of Kuwait, or 9/11 and George Bush pointing to the rubble of Ground Zero saying, and those people who knock down these buildings will hear all of us in the minute. That bravado, that Texas bravado cowboy, right? Don't you play with America. You better do what we say, because we bout that foolishness, right? The invasion of Afghanistan, right? After they had been 20 years at war with Russia, for us to go in, the way we dictate to Latin American countries and to African nations, right? You see all of that show of strength, but where is it with Russia, right? It is like Putin is double daring. I used to say that I double dog dare you to play with me. Is what Putin is saying. Because the doctrine of the mad doctrine, what? MAD, the mad doctrine, mutual assured destruction. Putin is saying, if you play with me and interfere with what I am doing, you got a nuke, I got one too.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what does this have to do with America, right?
Black America.
Black America. We are noticing this. The world is noticing that what we thought was a superpower, what made us feel confident to be here, that we were a part of this strong nation, that facade, that image it is now being shattered, and it will continue to be shattered, right? And I think that will then open the eyes of many Black Americans to the idea that I don't have to be here. Matter of fact, when during Vietnam, and we saw it in the movie Dead Presidents, and we saw it in several movies. And I'm sure your dad was in Vietnam, right?
No.
Okay, my dad was in Vietnam.
I mean, he was in the service, but he didn't.
Oh, okay. So my dad's in Vietnam. My uncle's in Vietnam. Those. Right. Those pamphlets that the Viet Cong would send out say, "Black man, go home. This is not your war." Black man, go home. This is not your war. We ain't got no. What Muhammad Ali said, ain't no Viet Cong ever called me. Right?
Viet Cong had it going on.
The Viet Cong.
What are they doing?
And here's what I'm saying. I think a lot of Black folk will start paying attention. Like, wait a minute, this ain't got nothing to do with me. The Ukraine over there. I posted an article on Facebook, said that their biggest weapon was a group of, I think they call some kind of brigade. I don't forgot the name, but they're a bunch of neo-Nazis, right? So anyway, my point is that I think that we are witnessing a time when America is looking pretty vulnerable. We've had 4 years of a neo-fascist in office. We've had the 4 years preceding that, right, when Barack Obama was in office, and we saw the rise of the far right, the Steve Bannons and all of these people, these conspiracy theorists, and that created a Donald Trump, right? So we saw all of that. So we had 4 years preceding Trump's administration, 4 years of Trump's administration. So 8 years of this far right, white backlash, racist, neo-fascism taking place. Then we get a new president who takes over a failing economy. Let's call it what it is. Hyperinflation, right? Gas prices so high, people are, you know what I'm saying? People are talking about walking to work. This is, right? grocery. We just saw something on the news. I think the price of groceries have the inflation has hit groceries 8.7%, right? You know,
all good things must come to
right?
an end.
So and then we have the pandemic that crippled the United States economy, right? So what I'm saying is the maximum security that we felt being in the United States, right? Yeah, we were victims of racism, but we had access to this. We were part of the. No one's going to invade us. We're the strongest nation on earth. That's the mindset that we had. That image is being shattered, and I think that many Black Americans, a certain type, but many Black Americans will begin to now look outside of the borders of the United States. They will say, let me see. Some of them may say, let me see what's going on in Europe, but they see how close that war is. It's in Eastern Europe. I mean, that's on you. Some will look into Latin America, but many will focus, the return. And, I think that's a fulfillment of prophecy. That is the fulfillment of prophecy that these children, right, the children of the diaspora, the dispersed, who had been lost for so long, are now willing to open their eyes and turn around and say it's time to go home, right?
Yeah.
And in many ways, it is, we will see the benefit of what we have being here, being used to the benefit of our people there.
Yeah, it's interesting. 10 years ago, what was something that would deter people from moving to this continent, to Africa, is now an opportunity to people. It's like the whole paradigm shift.
Yeah.
Whereas before, like when I was in Mali, that was a long time ago, 2008. Right. But, it was just like, ooh, you out there. Like there was no talk of people moving, relocating, not in these numbers, not like this. In 2008.
Right.
It was like, ooh, you went to Mali? How was that?
Right.
And now people see opportunity. It's like, oh, I could go there, I could build, I could own, I could start a business, I could. Right. It's amazing to see in your own lifetime that sort of change of direction.
We have to think also to 2011, 12, 13 with the rise of the Black travel movement, which was spearheaded by millennials. I'm too old to be a millennial. I'm right on the cusp.
No, I'm right there.
You right there? Yeah, but see, I'm got you by a year. So I'm a Gen X, right? I'm the last year Gen X.
Xennial.
Yeah, Xennial, right? But those individuals who at the time were 25, 26, and 27 years old, who decided to venture outside of the United States. Keep in mind, it seems like, oh, Black people. No. Black people have really just started to travel internationally outside of a very selected handful of people, right?
Yeah,
Black Americans, Black Americans, those who were descendants of slaves, right? Yeah. Not our immigrant African brothers and sisters, Black Americans, right? If your mom and daddy wasn't a doctor, if y'all wasn't Huxtables, y'all wasn't going to Paris. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might have went to New York. Y'all might have went to Miami, or California was a trip, right? If you were just regular middle class Black folk, your trip might have been to Disney World once in a lifetime. When I was 10 years old, we going to Disney World.
You saved your trip to go visit,
family.
Yeah,
right.
Family. Your grandparents or something. It's like, oh, we're going once a year to go
to Mississippi.
Out of town, driving to Mississippi.
Driving to North Carolina, going, if you were in New York, you're going down south.
Yeah.
If you already down south, you lived in the city center, you're going into the rural areas, much like our family in Johannesburg during Christmas time. They go back. That's the same way we did. We would, if you were in the city, if you were a city person, you knew your grandmama came from the country.
Right.
That's how we call it, the rural area. We call the rural area the country.
You drive out to
visit her. You go see your grandmama. That was our vacation. We wasn't taking international trips until recently. So around 2011, this movement, this travel movement, bam, really pops off. So thankful to these millennials for actually getting on the ground in Africa.
Yeah.
Getting on the ground. And then this perfect storm of technology, the movement, consciousness awakening, Black Lives Matter, all of this stuff hits at one time, because then you have YouTube. So when in 2009, I guess you may have had YouTube, but nobody was on it like that.
Yeah.
But you know, all the time prior to that, you didn't have the video footage. All you had was what the enemies of our people, the media that they chose to put out about Africa, the narrative that they chose to put out about Africa. You didn't have people on the continent that could show you through their video, through their phone, right? And then upload it and say, what you were taught, that ain't what's happening over here. Oh no, I'm over in Dar es Salaam, we having a good time. I'm over in Accra, we having a good time. I am in Johannesburg, we having a good time. No, look around, see these buildings. So there is so it was a perfect storm. Perfect storm of technology and again, black folk actually starting to move around. Young millennials who were the millennials who were the generation of children who are the grandchildren of the civil rights movement generation, right? You know, the Black Power movement, I come on the tail end of that, 1979. The Black Power movement is in the 70s. I come 79, right? So these millennials are the children, the second generation, the grandchildren of those civil rights. So they have been, is the language free? I don't know about free, but they experienced a different type of America.
A little more free.
Restrictions were loosened.
Slightly freer.
Right. Just something they didn't experience what Big Mama experienced, right? They didn't experience, you know, a separate water fountains and that. You know, we dealt with racism, they dealt with white supremacy and all that good stuff, but it was different. They were now, you know, generations who had gone to integrated schools their entire life. That was the norm. And they had you know, so when their white friends are talking about going out of town and going these places, it sparks up in their brain. Hey, maybe I need to try that, you know? True. And they were because I was in high school when Yahoo came out, yahoo.com. Yes. These are the children who grew up with the internet in their house. Right? Yeah, so it's a different, so thankful to them. Thankful to them. Right. You know, to that generation.
And now we're seeing the growth of the YouTube channels focused on South Africa. Yeah. And that's good because with every one of these folks, they have their own circles and that spreads and then more and more people get to see this beautiful country that we love so much.
That we love so much that we will be there. Bam, bam, bam.
Back to the original.
Back to the original thing. We will be there to embrace and just have us a good week. We're just there for a week this time because we'll be right back 2 months from now. Right back. Bam, bam. Just like that.
Booking tickets for May.
Yeah, yeah. We'll be back, and may be the final. But there's certain things we got to get once the house is getting sold. But everything else is just in line. Definitely, permanently sleeping there every night. June, right? Mid-June, end of June is definitely permanently sleeping there every night. We already got, you know, a place to stay, a lease and all that good stuff. So, we just have to tie up the loose ends here, man. And we are so excited and we are so thankful. If you watch this far, I gotta say it, you're a soldier, you're a general, you're a colonel. You're the colonel of the gold and platinum tank. I know. In the words of the great philosophical musician Master P, Colonel of the gold and platinum. But yeah, so we are just so thankful. I'm so excited, y'all. Listen, last 2 days my spirits has just been up because it got so close to the fact that I'm ready to get on that plane and return. I mean, we had great conversation. Can I tell if you watched this far? Should I tell about yesterday's conversation that happened? I do want to share it. So I got let me tell you how my sister Brandy, she says easy button. My wife has said since we have been married, she says when God wants you to have it. Oh, brother Sai, please don't get religious. I'm Muslim. I'm gonna get religious. I'm a Muslim and a Negro from America. Our whole life been in the church. But my wife says when God wants you to have something, he makes it easy for you. You know, when we make du'as for our Muslim brothers, we say, may Allah make it easy for you. Right? So Tuesday, I get an email from one of my jobs, right? And it's the job that is going to provide support for me as we live in South Africa. And I'm always like, oh, I don't know if that's gonna be enough. I want to make sure, because I want to live a certain type of way, and the kids' school don't, it's free here, right?
Yeah.
But the kids' school gonna cost. I gotta factor this in, that in, and there, right? So I was like, oh Lord, I'm always worried about that. I was worried about it. So then I get this email on Tuesday afternoon, late afternoon, that says we're gonna have an urgent staff meeting. This is a virtual job, so this means we got to jump on the Zoom, right? Urgent staff meeting tomorrow at 11 o'clock. It says it's nothing bad, but something you should know sooner rather than later. And in my mind, that I went straight pessimistic. I catastrophized. I said this is going to be the worst news ever. They're about to tell us the place is going to close. They're going to tell us that that they're not sure that they're going to have funding for X, Y, and Z for this. All right, okay, cool. We get on the call Wednesday at 11 o'clock this time. And I'm sorry, y'all, this is 30 minutes. After this story, I promise it's over. I get on the call at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. And once everybody jumps on the call, the executive director of this organization said, I am pleased to announce that we just received a $5 million grant, and everybody's getting a $7,000 raise and a $5,000 bonus. God made it easy. If you watched this far, that was your blessing right there.
That blessing is your blessing.
It was my blessing, but here's what I'm saying. Somebody somewhere, I don't get up my daddy as a preacher, but somebody somewhere need to know that God will make it easy for you. That stress and that pain and that worry that you have, that anxiety that you created for yourself, when it's for you, he will make, if you're a believer. Now, if you're not a believer, ignore this part. Right. Log off. But if you are a believer, he will make it easy for you. Indeed. I got that. And then all of my worry and anxiety, even that I had before the email, I had this low level anxiety about, we making a big old move and we leaving a lot of money on the table now. We're leaving a lot of money on the table in the US dollars, right? To come to South Africa. And obviously we still have planned to live well there. So I was like, oh man, all of that anxiety lifted, right? And this is the day after I got my official letter from the University of Wits.
Yeah.
So I get an official letter, invitation to come and be a visiting scholar and researcher from Wits. And the very next day, I get $12,000, a raise, and 5G. Mm-hmm. That is God's plan. God's plan. Drizzy. We know that Drake won that battle between Kanye. But yeah, family. We'll see you soon. Anything?
We'll see you soon. I don't have anything else. That was great news to receive.
It was. It made you dance.
Yeah. A little extra money is always a good thing.
Ooh, yeah. And what?
It's a little extra room in my budget.
Yeah. Made us change our outlook a little bit. Yeah.
And as much as we plan on coming back and forth,
that's what we need. That's exactly.
Tickets.
Right, because and that same thing, they was like, oh yeah, y'all got to be in Florida in November. So it's gonna be a lot of back and forth. But I'll be happy to say Johannesburg, South Africa, in the Republic of South Africa, and the SA, Josie, is my home.
That'll be something else.
Man, I am fulfilling the dreams of my ancestors. Y'all know I can't look. I'm excited, y'all. I am fulfilling the dreams of my ancestors. There was a African who got on that boat. Huh? Ooh, some time ago. Some many years ago, he got on that boat.
To hell.
Huh?
Sailed straight to hell.
Right. You thought hell was below the ground. No. It's on the shores. It's between California and New York.
On the other side of the But that was a hellish experience.
You think it wasn't? People was jumping overboard.
The rest of their lives.
For the rest of their generations. And they were on that thing, and they was chained up, and there was urine and feces all around them, and they were being fed this old slop, and they got some stranger, right, assaulting them and degrading them and treating them like cattle, and they chained up. And that my great-great-great-grandfather or my great-great-great-grandmother sitting on that thing, they said, boy, I wish I could go back to that continent. I wish I could go home. They got here, and they were in that field getting whipped and prodded and everything else to see if they were going to be a house slave or a field slave, if they was a good worker, if they had strength, all that old type of stuff. Women getting raped by these old people. And they were sitting in their mind just dreaming of returning back to that continent. Huh?
Those who had a memory.
No, I'm talking about them early on, them first ones.
Yeah. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, and then there were those who had no memory of it.
Those who had no memory of it, that's when you become the lost. That's when you become lost. When you lose memory of who and what you are. Right? But I'm talking about the ones who came and who knew, who didn't speak English as their first language, who spoke whatever, Wolof, how you say it? Wolof. Whatever their first language was, whatever their religious practices were. Those who said, man, who were Muslims and got on their knees to make salat and dua and asked Allah, please return me back home. Please. Why is this happening? The question.
Or never saw their family.
Never saw their family again.
Never saw their children. Children
Aunts,
sold away from them.
uncles.
Oh, that's
mama, daddy. Yeah. But there was the dream. They went to sleep at night and they would have these vivid dreams. They would dream they were running in their village. They would dream they were back home with their wife or their grandmother, or they would smell the food that they used to cook, or they would hear the hands clapping and the dancing that would take place when they were sitting around, right? And they dreamed of returning home. Guess what? I'm fulfilling their dream. Big facts. Big facts. Big old facts. Right? My children may not stay in South Africa, but they'll have a home on a continent. My grandchildren,
they'll have a real connection.
They'll have a home on the continent. That don't mean you got to stay there for the rest of your generation. You can move around. Allah made an entire planet for you to move. The entire planet is ours. That's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. He said that Africa is our throne. The earth is our home. We can move wherever we want to move. But they will now have a place. If Africa is the throne, they'll now have a place in the palace. Yeah, we did that, Red. We did that. Big facts. I love all of y'all. March Madness on and popping. See you soon.
Bye, guys.